Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men with power want? More power.
My name is Luca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a dream. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Dramatic confrontation in England tonight as the family and activists supporting baby Alfie Evans attempted to rush to his hospital room facing off against police. The terminally ill toddler was taken off life-sustaining measures like his ventilator today in Britain. But Alfie Evans is still fighting. The family has lost a series of legal battles to preserve his life. His father says he believes it amounts to state-sanctioned murder. Now, Italy has granted Alfie citizenship after the family begged the Pope for his help. Joining me now, former Governor Mike Huckabee is also a Fox News contributor. Governor, the last I checked, the family said 9:17 tonight, their local time. He'd been taken off the ventilator. He was still breathing, but they don't believe getting enough oxygen. They've asked the hospital for help, but it is over now. The hospital says there will be no help sustaining this little boy, and they also won't let him go to another country or hospital who says, we're willing to take a chance on him. What do you make of this?
Well, the real tragedy is that this is what happens when the government gets in complete control of the healthcare system. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's not what it's about. Well, it really is, because if you're in Great Britain and you have a cold, you just need to see the doctor, it works fine. If you have something serious, then the government's going to make decisions based on how much it's going to cost. In this case, this is a 23-month-old baby who is at Alder Hey Hospital in Liverpool, and the government has decided he's not worth saving. I hate even to let those words come out of my mouth. There's no such thing as a disposable human being, as an expendable, worthless human being. But that's the decision that the British government has made. The Italian government has declared this young boy to be a citizen. They're willing to take him in, and the British government says, no, we're not going to let him leave. We're going to go ahead and kill him. I just find this chilling.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe hard for Americans to understand this. I think here the hospital system is obviously different, but I think too parents feel a lot more aggressively invested in individual rights and having a say about their children. And yet, this is just a repeated case that we're seeing over in the UK when it comes to these dire medical situations, young children, and these are parents without great means. These are youngsters themselves, early 20s, and they say, you know, basically we have no voice. We saw this with Charlie Gard last year as well.
Well, you're right. They're both in their 20s, but they want to save their son. And they're willing to take him to Italy, and Italy is willing to take him. There's all kinds of offers to give him a med flight there. What I don't understand, and I think it's hard for the British government to justify, why don't they let these parents at least have a shot at saving their son? Why not? What's to lose? They have nothing to lose. It'll get the boy out of Britain, put him in Italy. If he doesn't make it, well, at least they've done everything they can do. But I just think most of us as human beings in a civilized world just don't want to start evaluating and saying that some people just aren't worth the effort to try to save when they're 23 months old. Yeah. I just don't want to think that we're there yet.
Here's what the hospital says. They say Alfie's parents have done everything in their power to do what they think is best for him, even though that is contrary to the view of the doctors. That has inevitably prolonged the period over which he's been given treatment that was determined in February not to be in his best interest. We understand that this decision is very distressing for Alfie's family at this very difficult time. Just quickly, we're just about out of time, Governor, but I know at one point an attorney advised Alfie's father that he had the right to take him out of the hospital. He tried to, and the police stopped him. What can we do now?
Ultimately, there's one question. Who's God here? Is God...
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I can control it today. I will try to be civil. I will try to contain myself, especially for the radio, for the respect of the station and the, of course, FCC regulations. So I will try to refrain myself as much as I can. Normally, you know, I'm pretty cool. At least, even when I have to say things, I'm getting mad. I control it. Today, I am ready to snap on the air literally, but in a good way. In a way that I want to push the limits to completely show to these son of a bitches in England, to these bastards, to these bureaucrats, and also to the freaking Queen, because, believe it or not, I believe she has something to do here. They always have something to do. After all, she's the Queen, right? And the freaking King and the Princess and all these useless parasites that they have, yes, they all have something to do into this one. This is the proof that nothing changed, at least in Europe. And we're talking, of course, now England. Since the times of lords and kings. After all, there are still lords there, there are still kings, right? And people may say, oh, after all, we are a monarchy, democratic monarchy, whatever. You're still a slave, I'm sorry. And I have a lot of friends in England that I love, and I consider them brothers and sisters. I really do. But unfortunately, think about it, we are slaves here in America. After all, we are slaves in some ways, under the control of a central bank, but there you have no rights, not even to save the life of your child. And this is going to be important because, this show is called Love, Guns and Freedom, by the way, in case you're listening. Normally, this is not my typical entry. Today, as I said, I'm kind of going off the average, basic, standard path on my show. So, a little more spontaneous if you want. I don't follow any path. Well, I'm telling you though, this show is called Love, Guns and Freedom for a reason. And what happened there in England to this poor little boy and to this family is exactly show why we should have love, we should have guns, and then we may have freedom. It's all connected. Unfortunately, the British people, they've been castrated, not just, of course, with their rights. They have no rights. You don't have freedom of speech. Let's be straight. If I was right now in England and I was talking things like that, and things I will say in the next few minutes, I would be arrested, banned, you know what happened, people just because protesting on the streets, the brutality of Muslims and the Muslim religion, just because it's your opinion, you can get arrested. So screw you, England, screw you, your freaking fascistic monarchic laws. This is United States of America. We have freedom of speech, like it or not, bitches, and that's what we do here. Okay? My name is Luca Zanna. In case you don't have me on the list yet, I'm sure after this show I may be there, and I do not care. And also, we got guns here. We don't have guns to hunt or to go for sport or recreational, to go to the, to your little meetings at the clubs. No, we got guns to shoot tyrants. Simple as that. That's why we got guns. That our founding fathers fought and died, so situation like that will never happen again here. And that's why I would like to inspire our brothers and sisters in England that this is the time for them, for a freaking revolution. 1776 should be all over the world. And I do not advocate for violence. Be sure, I'm a peaceful man. But there is a point you got to draw the line. You have to draw the line. Look what happened here. Let's analyze 1 second. I wanted to play this little Fox News segment. I don't watch TV. I don't even have TV. I don't care about Fox News. But I think it was pretty well done, the way Mr. former Governor Huckabee, whatever is his name, presented this story. So, think about it. You have a messed up, socialized healthcare for the slaves, of course, because I don't think the Queen or the Prince Charles or his little babies, they're going to the same hospitals with the same rules, right? Freaking no way. So think about it. Slaves, the rest of the population, they are forced to pay a completely humongous amount of taxes, because I know the same in Italy, to pay for this monstrosity called public health care. They would like to remind people, go to England or go to Italy, free health care. Let me tell you something, you little twerp that you still believe that socialized health care is good. Okay? I'm not trying to offend you, just trying to tell you the truth. You're a little twerp because you don't know crap. I came from that place. I came from freaking Italy, where you really, when you have something serious, you don't want to wait 6 months for a visit for a doctor. All you have to do after you already been extorted all your tax dollar every month from your paycheck to pay for this monstrosity called public health care, then you have to go to the same doctor that you're supposed to see for free at the hospital, but you can go meet him the day after if you pay another good part of your paycheck, cash of course. Then at that point you're not going to die and wait 6 months before you can see him. That's the bottom line. So let me tell you something. Socialistic public healthcare, free healthcare is not free. It is just a monstrosity. Now, the good things about here, at least in Italy, with this situation, with this poor little baby that was murdered, that was what happened, was murdered by the British government. And as I said, I put the Queen on top because after all, she's the head of the state, okay? And by these judges and all these bureaucrats and these doctors. So they all have blood on their hands. At least Italy in this situation, he was trying to do something. Say, you know what, fine. You don't want to use your resources. You don't want to divert your resources. Fine. Guess what? We give him citizenship. But we are a messed up country in Italy too. Fine. But at least they tried the right thing. At least they have a little humanity. Okay? I wouldn't go to hospital in Italy, but you know what, at that point, when you're dying, I mean, thank you very much, Italian government, to at least do the right thing here. I appreciate it. Okay? Little humanity, little bit of dignity, little bit of respect for life. But the sad thing, this is nothing new. This is nothing new because this is the plan. This is the plan. The plan is that we, as human beings, are worth nothing to this elite. And I'm sure if it was a politician, if it was maybe a son of the prime minister or a daughter of the prime minister or some other, high ranks politicians, that would not happen. So my point is, what am I going to tell you right now here? We can talk about this and just ignore it. No, I don't want to ignore it. Because this is just an example. What's happening to us as humanity when government has all the power and all the guns. That's why it must be a reminder for us in America that we'll never have to go back to be subjects like we used to be before the revolution. Like because our founding fathers fought and died, so we don't have to live under these leeches. You heard the story. They were trying to attempt to break this cordon. They were trying to reach. I mean, think about that was your son. Think about that was your son. Or, forget about politics. Forget about what you think. This is your son. You have a chance. Another government is ready to come and get your son, give him a citizenship. You don't even need to pay for the flight. They give you a free flight, and they will try to give him a chance to live. You know what? That's it. There is no excuse there. It's not any more about the healthcare that sucks in England. It's about this point to show who is the boss, that you do not own, you are not in control of your life, of your sons and your family. The state, in this case, is God. That's the point. So that's why I say this is so brutal. And then, these bastards, they have the audacity with friends, and of course also us, America, whatever, the face of America, the bankers behind. We had to go to bomb Assad in Syria because he's killing children. You know what? Now we should go really to drop bombs in freaking England because that's what they done. That's a complete murder. First of all, we know Assad was a fraud, it's a false flag, nothing happened. But even if it was true, for God's sake, what you done here in front of everybody, in front of the world, in front of live on cameras, you did exactly the most atrocity thing. I don't care if it's one child, 100, because what you done with one, you can do at that point with 1,000. So yeah, we should go after you, war criminals. Find out who did that, who signed that, and should be arrested and put in front of whatever court for murder. Okay? Now look at this. I need to keep playing this. I'm sorry. I know people say, I want to talk about something else. Guess what? You don't understand. If we get completely ignoring this and we become so cynical that we say, after all, it didn't happen to my child. I'm here in America. Who cares? This is about another fellow human being. This is about another family out there. It's about understanding that what happened there can happen here. And we want to try to completely unite as free humanity. if I know that there's a human being who is in need there, I don't care if you're American or English or German, you're my brother. You know, you're a human being at the end. Yes, I'm an American, I'm a nationalist, I said that. I believe in nationalism, I respect your country, you respect mine, we all get together. But at the end, you are my fellow human being. And if I know somebody's trying to murder you, I will try to save you if I can. That's the point. And I see things like that, especially to a child, my blood is going to another level of eruption. You don't want to be close around me. Thank God I wasn't in England. You know, I would have started a freaking revolution myself. I know probably with rocks, I don't know with what. But let me tell you something. When you saw this cordon of police, they were trying not just to stop people from getting in, but also from people getting out. I mean, the point, the child was trapped. They removed the oxygen, fine. He was still living, he was doing fine. But then they starved him out. I mean, think about how cruel that. I mean, let it sink in for a moment. If that's not a torture, I mean, not even give him a clean death. At least have the balls, you freaking doctor or wherever you're in charge, you butcher. Get a knife and kill him with your hands. Be a man at least. Give him a clean death. No. They are so cowards that to let them completely die of starvation. That's why I have no respect. And at this point, as I said, this show is going to be my show that it is. And I will tell you exactly the way I think about it. If you don't like it, you know, turn it off. I couldn't care less. The goal, I want to start a freaking revolution around the world. I want that these things never happen anymore. I want people to take a knowledge, consciousness, that lords and kings never gone. And it's time to overthrow him. Peacefully first, if we can, and then at that point, you draw the line in the sand. For me, if that was my son, that would be my line in the sand. Nobody's gonna tell me that I cannot take my son out of the freaking country that cannot even provide, you know, the basic health care that he needs. And no, you're not gonna kidnap him, and I will fight till I die. If I was the father, I would probably be dead by now. But with me, I would have brought some people, trust me. More than one. And I'm not a violent person. But when you try to kill one of my family, or kill myself, that's not even kill, it's murdering. I have the right, I have the duty to defend myself and my family. That simple as that. And I would have done that probably even if it wasn't my family. Let me tell you, that's what is the problem. Look at you guys, you're millions. I know they castrated you. You have no guns, not even a butter knife anymore in England, I understand. But you are still millions. They want to keep you completely distracted. They want to keep you away from things like that. It's like the wolf. Go together little sheep one by one. But the moment that the sheep get together, the wolf better start watching it. That's the bottom line. So I really hope that in England there is some sort of, this could be the sacrifice of this little boy. You know, Alfie Evans, who created some sort of inspiration to understand what level of travesty the state in England controls his own subjects. And unfortunately, yeah, you are subjects. I'm not trying to put you down. That's the truth. I mean, think about it. The British government, the monarchy, consider himself like, you know, God. And when you are queen and king, what do you talk to? Talk to subjects, not just of course England, all the Commonwealth. Am I right? I mean, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Sorry, I say screw the Queen. God damn the Queen. That's what I say. Let's start with that. God damn the Queen, the princess, the king, and all these parasites that they need to find a real job like the rest of us and do not live anymore of our substances. I'm so proud that our founding fathers kick your ass. So freaking proud. That was worth just to come here to America. I know we get stuck with other problems now. Don't get me wrong. We are not perfect, okay? We got other situations to face. But at least we still have a Bill of Rights. We still have the right to keep and bear arms. We still have the right to tell it the way it is. I can tell you these things because I'm broadcasting from America. As I said, if I was in Europe, forget about England, even in Italy, I would be probably arrested 3 times. But you're not going to arrest me, trust me. You're not going to make it. I will fight back for my rights as a free human being. I'm not a freaking sheep. Be clear. Anyway, so let me play 1 second this one, because I need to really, and this is going to be something I need to show again. I'm not going to go away like that. Stay here.
There he is. Say hello to all your army members, Alf. Say hello to all them army members. Your eyes still at them? Yes, they are. I can see them dilating. Looking at the camera. Looking at the camera. Hey.
There was a little short clip recorded by the family, father and mother, I guess, of Alfie Evans on execution day. In the video was posted on Facebook, 6:40 p.m. local time, London. Thomas Evans tells viewers that the hearing is to be held by conference call at 7:15 p.m. with the Italian ambassador to Great Britain, Judge Anthony Hayden, and Thomas Evans, barrister, present. The Italian ambassador is going to do all he can now to seek requests of Alfie care and try to have Justice Hayden. Allow Justice Hayden, you may have rot in hell. I hope you listen to this conversation. You may have a special place in hell with worms sticking out of your ass. I really hope so. Okay? You pathetic piece of trash. I wish you something, I don't want to say something about you and your family, because, I believe your family still has the right to be wherever they are. But still, I hope one day in life you will personally feel the experience that you created to this family. Okay? Justice Hayden, you are the worst part of humanity we can find. As I said, you didn't have to spend any of your dollars or pounds to keep this poor little boy, trying to cure him. That's whatever. We passed that. All you had to do has the right to leave your forsaken freaking country and go to Italy. At least they were giving him a chance. No. Why? I would like to ask you why. Why don't let him go? Why? Who are you? What are you, God? Or the gods who decide who lives, who dies, right? So, that's the point, So Justice Hayden said that no way, slaves stay there. Slaves must stay there. So anyway, what else? Thomas Evans tell his supporters, now we pray hard for Justice Hayden releases Alfie. If not, he's going to be executed. So please pray. You can pray at home, pray in your car, pray at work, or come down to Elder Hay and pray peacefully and be respectful. Respectful my ass. Sorry, Father. Sorry, your son is being murdered. If I see my son being murdered, I'm not going to be there wasting time praying. I'm going to load up my freaking rifle and I'll see you there pretty soon. That's what I do. Respectfully, I tell you respectfully. Thank God I'm on the air. I'm on broadcasting. I would have a list of names for this Justice Hayden that you would have probably flushed, a sailorman. Blush, not flush. Okay? Pope Francis tweeted this evening in clear support of Alfie and his parents, saying, moved by the prayers and immense solidarity shown little Alfie Evans, I renew my appeal that suffering of his parents may be heard and a desire, Pope, shut up. Even to you. Okay? You socialist Pope. And this one at least you were trying to do something okay, but let's be straight. You're not a piece of scum. Okay? You're a socialist, New World Order, piece of scum. And that's why I can say this, because I really believe it. It's my freaking opinion, and I'm here as an American. I have freedom of speech. By the way, if I was saying these words, you Pope are a piece of scum, because you are. Look at this Pope, what he wants one world religion. It's pretty much the most socialistic, utopistic government. Meanwhile, he's swimming in billions, if not trillions. He believes in this global tax, for just because we breathe, global warming scam, all this stuff. This guy is completely globalist. If I were just calling him the way it is, and by the way, it's factual, but even if it wasn't factual, just my opinion, just to let you show you exactly how lucky we are to live in America. In Italy, I would have been at least served with a civil lawsuit, for starter. And by the way, I can also go definitely I'd be criminally be served and charged. If I say that the Italian president is a piece of trash, I can spend 5 years in jail. This is the same law that was applied during the King of Italy. Still there. Nothing changed. That's why I say, you know what? There's many problems we have in America. It's our fault, by the way, because our founding fathers left us a platform, a structure, a republic that no other part of the world you have dreamed. The Bill of Rights and the Constitution, especially the Constitution, maybe not be perfect, but it's up to us to keep it alive and to fight for it and defend it. The Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence, they are documents that no other nation ever had. And we're still benefiting the results, the beautiful things that we can enjoy and the rights that we can exercise in this country. I want to remind you this, and this is for me, as I said, coming from a person that I came from there. Maybe for you may be normal, maybe sometimes, say whatever. No, this is not whatever. If I was doing this show right now in Europe, I would be gone next week forever. And I'm not gone off the air. I may be gone really. They probably snuff me out. Seriously. So, please, appreciate it. Appreciate what we have. And let's fight to keep it like this. And let's fight to get it better. And let's try to inspire. My goal on this show is not just to cuss at these bastards. And, that's all I can do. I wish I could do more. If I could throw rocks at these bastards, I would. Seriously. I'm kind of violent when it comes to defend my life and defend the innocent. I'm not there just praying. I'm sorry, I'm not the type of person. I'm not a priest. I'm not a religious person. When it comes to this, I'm a freaking fighter. Okay? I pray after. When they're dead, I will freaking pray for their soul to go to hell. Okay? Look, you're so harsh. No. Think about it for a moment. Seriously. I'm not here starting any act of violence. I'm talking about here defending my family. A child, an innocent child, who wanted to have a chance to live. Are we so politically brainwashed, mentally, politically correct brainwashed, that we're supposed to say, be peaceful, be respectful of the authorities, be nice, pray for their soul, pray to put some little bit of sense. Meanwhile, your child is freaking starving to death, idiot. If that doesn't move a little bit of blood and testosterone, maybe you're a castrated human being. Maybe I didn't understand. Fluoride in the water, GMO food, estrogen in the meat. In the last 50 years, probably it did a big change in the DNA of the average European man. I understand. Think for a moment. Let it sink in. The state claim ownership of your son. And they don't even let him get out of the freaking hospital to find an opportunity to save his life. So you're supposed to there be nice and watching and praying for the bastards. No. Pope Francis, I'm sorry. I know the father of little Alfie, he meant well when he say pray and be respectful. Probably that's all you can do in England. You don't even have a freaking butter knife. But no, if that was my son, I would probably charge, I don't know how, I would find a way to break the freaking line of cops. And these cops, shame on you. Shame on you. How can you go back home and sleep tonight? All these cops that were out there at the hospital, being like a good Gestapos. By the way, I don't think the Gestapo would have done stuff like that. You were there following very tyrannical orders. Okay? Stopping the right of a family to take their son and save him, or at least give him a chance to live. Think about it. How can you go to sleep tonight, you little Bobby cop, and at that point look at your children and give them a hug before they go to sleep and say, good night, little sweetheart. I love you so much. Meanwhile, I just let a little baby like you die of starvation because I'm such a chicken crap that I didn't have the balls to say screw you and your orders. Now we're gonna escort this child out of this hospital, and if somebody tries, we're gonna shoot you in the face. Of course, they have no guns, even cops there. Sorry, can't shoot anybody. Alright, now let's listen to another piece of trash here. This is, let's see, this is a doctor, the closest thing to Lords, you know. Doctor, starving Alfie Evans to death is not the killing of a child, it's just redirecting care. Who is this piece of trash? Let me play 1 second. Okay, after a shocking and disgusting week which saw the parent of Alfie Evans have to literally fight to save his life, now the justification of decision by the British court and medical system has begun. One doctor has already appeared on television defending Alder Hey Children's Hospital and its decision not to provide Alfie with food for approximately 28 hours after withdrawing his life support without his parents' permission. You know, 28 hours without food when you're a baby, that's a pain. I can handle 20 hours. I can stay without food for 3 days, no problem. But little baby, at that age, a toddler, that's a painful thing. That's something so sad. I mean, you know, even the freaking people who go to the death row, they give them like a last meal, for God's sake, do they? When you go on the death row in America, they give you a freaking last meal. Normally it's pretty decent too. No, this is worst. The sentence to death without even the last meal. Okay? Forcing a 23-month-old Alfie Evans to die by starvation is not killing, Dr. Ranjit Singh arguing on UK's This Morning Whatever TV. Withdrawing life support and refusing to allow Alfie's parents to take him home, feed and care for him, instead merely redirecting care. You know what? You don't want to give him health care, that's fine. But if the parents wanted to bring him out of the freaking disgusting hospital and jump him on the plane and go anywhere they wanted, forget Italy, they could go to Mars if they could afford it. Because somebody's paying for their ticket and paying for the health care, you have no freaking business. If you come between me and that, my child, I shoot you in the face. Be clear. Be clear. And I say those things without apologies. As I said, I'm not here to initiate violence. But you try to harm me, harm an innocent, or harm a member of my family, I have the right and the duty to defend my life and their life. Okay? And I don't need a gun. I can do with a 2x4, whatever I need to do, if I have to. Anyway, let me play this piece of trash, okay? Let me play 1 second, because this is a good example of lords and kings that, of course, you know, they are not just a royal blood, but also the little class of...
He has a...
1 second.
Unfortunately, is limiting his life. What we need to decide is how the end of his life care happens. Withdrawing life support is not killing someone. It is redirecting care to make them more comfortable and give them, you know, the most dignifying life that you can.
Really? Wow. You know, I'll give you some dignifying moment. I wish I have you in the room for about probably a week. You know, I would put you on diet and do a waterboarding 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's see how much we redirect food. You don't deserve food. You beautiful piece of trash. You know, look at that. I had to see his face. He's such a freaking slick bastard. Anyway, my point is this. Before I lose it, before I say things that completely gonna be, you know, putting this station in trouble, let me take a break. Let me play a song that it's been cleared. Because, you know, I had to watch the FCC. You know, we can say everything we want, but we have some magic words we cannot say on the air. Of course, on the internet is different. So let me just play 1 second. This little song that I wrote, Will Love, for all the royalties, especially the Queen of England, is a little husband king, and the little sons princess, and what else? All the other parasites around the world that they claim that they have royal blood, and the rest of us supposed to, you know, kneel down or bow down. You know what? I don't bow down in front of anybody. Screw you. Okay? Here we go. God Damn the Queen. Songs by myself, Luca Zanna. By the way, you can also get it on Amazon for 99 cents. If you download it, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Here we go.
George Washington, Sam Adams, and all of them. Our founding fathers gave the blood, so we had no more queens, no more lords. God damn the queen. God damn the queen. God damn the queen. Don't forget that king. We are Americans, no more rulers, just screw you, bitch, and your new world order. You may own the land and own the bank, but we'll never kiss your rear end. Your scam has been exposed. Our bondage now is over. We know who owns the bed. We have guts, pride, and land. God damn the queen. God damn the queen. God damn the queen. God damn the queen. Don't forget that king. Hey! Hey! God damn the guts, pride, and land. God damn the guts, pride, and land. God damn the guts, pride, and land. God damn the queen. Please don't forget that.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman,
I'm not afraid.
and a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth,
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna
I'm not afraid.
and his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go back. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. I do not apologize if I was sounding a little bit irate the first part of the show. When it come down to this situation, this murder, not mass yet, but I'm sure there are more to come, of this little Alfie Evans in England. I mean, that we need to remind ourselves that what we watch in the news, not because it's not happening to us, means that it's not happening. We need to become more empathetic, when it comes down to sympathetic, when it comes down to other people, other human beings out there. Because what happens to them, tomorrow can happen to us. And if we don't do something, if we just get so, cynical now, okay, poor baby, oh, sorry, oh, then, whatever. I need to worry about my life. I need to worry about me. Meanwhile, tomorrow will happen to you and to your son, and nobody's going to come and save you. More important, we are human beings. And I believe when we see evil out there, it should be pretty normal. The instinct to, snap and stop it. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty much what comes to me in my mind. If I see a little baby begging for his life, and maybe the father and mother say, please help us, they want to kill him. Guess what? It's not my son, but I will go there. I do everything I can. Okay? So that's my point. We gotta do something here. And the first thing we can do now, start to talk about it and not just go back to the regular business. And then, of course, you see in the tabloids, little Prince Charles with his little new baby. Oh, you'd misspell his name. Screw that bitch. Okay? All the royal family, they may rot in hell, in my opinion. Because if the little Prince Charles had some balls and was a good freaking king, that, of course, there is no good kings, because no king is supposed to be in my book. We're all equal human beings. Nobody's above, just maybe because your great-great-great-grandfather was able to steal more money than somebody else, okay, or murder more people. Now you claim to be a god. Screw you, okay? I don't bow down to anybody. For sure, for no scumbags like you. My point is, if it was at least a decent human being, forget about being king, little Prince Charles, he would have said, you know what? I will take care of the child. Let him have him a chance. Let them have him a chance. I know technically it's the court, and judge, justice, whatever is this name of this piece of trash, justice. Guess what? The king, the prince, and the queen, I'm sure they still have a voice. If it was their child, oh my God, they would have flown it to Mars. Forget about Italy to try to give him a chance. Okay, so this is exactly the point. And it's happening exactly now that the royal family has another little baby out there. Of course. Meanwhile, the little subjects, children, they're worth nothing. And by the way, we know what they want. They want the population. Why do you think they're controlling the healthcare? Because they can decide who lives, who dies. Okay? I mean, Prince Charles, that was like a few days ago. Let me see if I can find the speech here. Prince, I hate to call him Prince, scumbag Charles. They're supposed to be Prince of, new King of England. The population. It's a little speech said, we are too many on the planet. You know what? Start to kill yourself, bastards, okay? That's the point. Start to jump in the lake, okay? Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, called for population control in developing world. You know what? Of course, after you've been robbing and stealing the resources, and pretty much that's what you do as a colony, a colonization. Now, they need to realize a little bit that they have no more allocated resources. So, Prince of Wales, that's Charles, his son, even the son. Anyway, go figure it out. I don't want to waste time over these bastards anymore, okay? Now, let's talk about something else. Back to us, because, you think that in America we are immune from this type of tyranny. Partially, yes, because we still have rights that they don't have in the rest of the world. I mean, the fact that we have freedom of speech like we do, it's pretty amazing. Yes, the fact that we have the right to keep and bear arms, that I know all these globalists, they cannot sleep at night to find a way out to castrate us there. Guess what? Too bad, too late. We got billions of guns in this country. You're never going to get rid of them. And guess what? If you ever try, you will find out what happened. And I tell you, 1775, go remember the date, 19th of April, right? What happened? You know what happened. Go check it out. Go to study American history. All right. Government says no to self-reliant citizens. Rainwater collection criminalized. Really? And I say, government, you screw yourself. Because if I want to collect water from the rain, you are not God. And the rain doesn't belong to you. So on my own freaking damn property, I will collect even the freaking urine from the sky, from the angels, whatever it is. When I call it water, I call it whatever it is. I will collect it. And if we'll try to stop it, we'll start a revolution. Simple as that. People say, you're very extreme. No, this is the point that, guys, they're claiming ownership over the water coming from the sky. Let it sink in. Why not even ownership over the sun? By the way, in some states they do, because they want to tax now solar system. Oh, you thought the solar power was free? Why did they figure it out that you're not spending any more your taxes on electricity? They need to get somewhere else. So you see, we are not getting that far from the system of serfs and masters. Now we have just a little different way that probably they don't call themselves here kings and lords. But you know what? You have these families, these dynasties like the Bushes, the Clinton. They pretty much have been around for 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, look at the Bushes. Never can get rid of them. I mean, since World War II. I mean, Bush great-grandfather was aiding Hitler. Go find out. Was a Wall Street banker giving money to Hitler. And then you got his father, and then his son, his grandson. I mean, look at that. And the Clinton never go away. I mean, think about it. So my point is, did you know that collecting rainwater on your own property could actually get you in jail? Just look at the case of Gary Harrington of Eagle Point, Oregon. Harrington collected rainwater in 3 reservoirs on his property. And well, the government didn't like it. Is now facing 30-day jail sentence and fines of more than $1,500. In Oregon, all water is considered property of the state. With any difference from the time of the kings, when you go on king's land, you can no hunt. That's all properties of the king. Whether it flows from the tap or falls from the sky, collecting, storing, and using rainwater is permitted as long as you obtain a permit from the state, something which Harrington didn't have. Screw the permit. Screw it. Really, seriously, screw the permit. I will refuse to collect water from the sky, sent by the gods out there, from nature, whatever you want to call it. Guess what? State, you are not my God. Okay? So, Harrington's permits were revoked, though the reasons remain unclear. So my point, that's my point, that's why I want to show you that this is Oregon, America, okay? You see how close we are, even here, even with our Bill of Rights, even after our founding fathers and forefathers fought the revolution. We let it go so far now that we are coming back to the same type of tyranny that we have just witnessed right now in England with the murder by the state of the little Alfie Evans. Because if a government can claim ownership of the rain, and then of course claiming ownership of the sun, talking about, sun from the sky, not your son. My Italian accent sometimes it's difficult to pull it out. Anyway, but my point is, next what? They now try to claim ownership also over your health care. And you know what? You see now, back to this. We have Obamacare. It is pretty much the foundation of the socialized medicine where the state will make decisions if you can have care or not. Because after all, there is no health care for everybody. There are no resources for everybody. Can't do that. It's impossible. Because it's a socialized medicine, so people, too old will die. People too young that, like did the Alfie Evans, disposable. You see how terrible it is. But the worst part is not just Obama and Obamacare, that we know Obama is the face, was the face of the liar in chief that told us all these lies about Obamacare. Or you can keep the doctor if you want, the premium not gonna go up, all BS. The premium skyrocket, you never could keep your doctor, and now you take you like 6 months to get a doctor appointment. I mean, it's terrible. We know that. I've been talking about that the last 8 years, about how terrible the piece of trash from Kenya was. Now, look at this Republican Congress. Let's focus on these Republican rats, these disgusting subhumans called Republicans. Because I want to be fair. I don't like Obama. I'm not a Democrat, but I'm not even a freaking Republican. I despise them. I mean, there are a few exceptions, don't get me wrong. There are a few exceptions everywhere. There are also some few exceptions Democrats that I respect, believe it or not. I had them on my show. And I agree with them most of the things too, some of them. But my point is, look at these Republican liars. Republican Congress, Republican Senate, Republican President. I know that the president does not legislate. I understand. Still, we are all Republicans. The point, we have no excuses. This Obamacare is supposed to be burning in hell the last few months, or the first day that all Congress took over, the Republican took over Congress the last 2 years. Guess what? We still have it. You still believe that those two parties, they are really difference between each other. You really believe in this little competition, your little game, fighting, screaming. They're all in bed doing orgies at the same time together. Democrats, Republicans, they all serve the same bankers, masters. That's the point. And this is exactly the proof. So all this Paul Ryan of the world that now is retiring, oh, poor little boy, after he made all this money and he got another cushy job coming. And of course, all these like chicken neck politicians like McConnell, whatever his name, the Speaker of the Senate, this disgusting piece of slime. McConnell, you're a disgusting piece of slime. I despise you every time I see your face and I hear your voice. You're such a liar. You all together, of course, don't even get me going with Senator McCain, that he was pretty much the one more time, they stab in the back, and still people in Arizona, they still kiss his ass. I cannot believe it. Oh, he's a veteran after all. Screw that stuff. The guy is not a veteran, the guy was a traitor, by the way. Go talk to real veterans who are in Hanoi, okay? Let's talk about what he did, that piece of trash, how he ratted out his brothers, okay, while he was sitting there. Okay, let's not forget what type of poor soldier he was. Okay, if it wasn't for his father, was an admiral. This guy, he was a disaster. Would have been kicked out of the Navy many times. But my point is not even that. The point is, focus on these guys. Our government is pretty much now completely out of control. You think you go out there, you vote for the Republic, you're gonna get something different. There is no difference, and it's been a proof. Obamacare is supposed to be gone. And why it's so important that we focus on that? Because Obamacare is exactly the beginning of what already happened in England with Alfie Evans. The government claims to be God and control every aspect of your life. And will control, of course, also your health and your access to health. The next level they want, of course, they want to take our guns. So it's not only they control the resources and they'll tell you if you can have access to healthcare, but also will tell you what you can do. If you can even leave the hospital, if your son is able to have a chance somewhere else around the world. No. That's why, please, why I never will stop talking to you about the right thing, to keep and bear arms. And you know the story, I'm the most peaceful person out there. I hate violence. But I draw a line in the sand, literally. There is a moment that you need to transform yourself from the most peaceful human being when the time comes that you have not given other choices to avoid to be killed and murdered, or you or your family, or innocent for me. Because if I see an innocent, be murdered on the street, I feel the moral obligation to save him. Sorry. No, you don't have to do it, but it's your call. So my point is, we have the point that we need to stop being politically correct here. Somebody's trying to murder you. I'm sorry, I'm not going to pray, oh, you're going to change your mind. We pray after. I pray after I put you 6 feet under. Okay? I'll pray for your soul. As I say, you go to hell. I maybe sound a bad Christian. Maybe I'm not Christian at all. Never told you that. Maybe my belief system is a little different. Regardless, I'm talking about belief. It's my personal business. When I go on Facebook and people start to preach me, whatever I believe, it's my business. Okay? I don't go out and preach to others. I respect your religion. I welcome you. All I care that your religion respects mine. Okay? I don't believe in any organized religion. I don't believe that I'm never going to bow down to any man, pope, prophet, priest, whatever. I don't need you. I don't need a church. I don't need a bricks and wall church. I don't need to pay anybody tithe or whatever it's called, taxes to the church. Screw that stuff. Even when I was born in Italy, I was raised Catholic. I never was a Catholic, really. I never could have. Even when I was a young boy, and nobody really told me this stuff, I refused to bow down in front of the Pope. I refused to kiss his ring. I refused to say, hey, I always said, this man is a man. Maybe a good man, bad man, whatever. He's an old man. I give him the respect to be an old man. But I refuse to bow down to another human being. That's the bottom line. So, and I keep my whatever, spiritual belief, I don't even call it religious belief, personal. I'm not here trying to influence anybody's, my personal life, but do not ever tell me on my Facebook page what I'm supposed to believe and that your creed is the only creed and I need to repent. Screw that stuff. Seriously. I'm going to kick you out of my Facebook page so fast you're never going to see it coming. Okay? Seriously. Anyway. Oh, the last thing. NRA. Convention bans guns to protect Mike Pence. Vice President Mike Pence. Think about hypocrisy here. The NRA's guns will be barred during Vice President Mike Pence's appearances at an upcoming National Rifle Association convention to protect his safety, prompting survivors of the Parkland school shooting in Florida to wonder why the gun group won't agree to gun restriction elsewhere to protect children. You know what? Unfortunately, as much as I despise these little, zombies out there because they don't even know what they're talking, they have the point here. You got the point. The NRA in this situation, they are hypocritical. Those attending the NRA leadership conference in Dallas are on notice that no firearms or weapons of any kind or ammunition will be allowed in the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center prior to and during Pence appearances. You know what? So bad on you guys. So bad. NRA, this is so bad on you. Think about it. Guess what? The right to keep and bear arms doesn't go when you decide when it is, when it's not, especially when, now we have another Lord coming, the Vice President. Guess what? The Vice President, it should be, if somebody wants to bring a gun, back to the same logic, and is a bad person, will bring that gun. And then everybody is a sitting duck, so you need to just rely on the private, Secret Service security, that I'm sure they will do a good job to protect, Vice President Pence. Meanwhile, all the other people out there, they're going to be sitting ducks. So I'm sorry. Vice President, maybe you shouldn't come. If you feel unsafe among law-abiding people, you shouldn't be around us. Okay? That's my point. So, no, NRA, you suck. I'm sorry. And I tell you something. I'm an NRA instructor. I don't care. I still tell you what I think. Politically, you suck. You got good programs when it comes down to education, and training stuff, fine. But when it comes down to political activism, you're just a Judas goat. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. Anyway, today we're almost done. I do not apologize if I sound a little harsh. That's normal. I think this is the why we're supposed to bring back our humanity in every way, our human instinct of survival. If you see somebody being slaughtered, guess what? It's not time of sending them love letters. It's time to jump up and stand up. I love you, brothers and sisters, everywhere around the world you're listening, especially my friends and my brothers in England, that I know you're there suffering, but not just England, the rest of Europe, the rest of the world, even here, but for sure there, under the queer queen and princess and lords. I wish you a great 1776 moment and a beautiful revolution. I hope before I die in this life, I'm going to see overthrown that terrible form of government. That's just my humble opinion, and I'll leave it like that. I hope peacefully. I hope not going to be blood, but sometimes you got to break few eggs. Remember what happened to us in America. You don't get rights. They don't grant you rights. You fight for them. You'll be listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Talk to you next Sunday.